Hey, what's up? It's Whistle, and welcome back to another episode of Timberborn. If you guys wound up missing the last episode of Timberborn, go ahead and go check that out. And then come round back and watch this one. We got our temple finished up here in our Drought Defenders district, which is phenomenal. Look at all this green space we have. In between episodes, I also just kind of planted down some trees. I'm not quite sure how this is going to look once they're all grown, but I figured we may as well just give it a shot, and we can see what it's going to look like. And I can always adjust. It was really, really simple and easy, especially now that these guys are making planks, which, yes, that also happened in the last episode. Because we have a bunch of trees here, so I figured I may as well let these guys become a little bit more self-sufficient on some of their basic needs. Obviously, they're not at the point where they're making dynamite or anything yet, but we will get there eventually, probably. I think, opened up a second distribution post. I think that was last episode. So now we have 7 extra beavers just kind of roaming around and moving logs into this district and helping everybody move things faster. I'm going to go ahead and shut down just a couple of these lumber mills as well. In this district, we have 500 planks, 85 gears and such, so I think we should be fine with just a couple lumber mills running. And that's really about it. I might even turn off... How are we doing on dynamite? We only have 50 dynamite. I think that should be okay, leaving everything else is going, because I know the paper mill goes through quite a bit of logs. But I'm thinking if we just get rid of the lumber mills, we should be fine. Because I want to get this done. This is my big project for this episode today. So I think I'm going to run the episode until we get this section done. We may not totally finish, like I may not get this little bit done or anything else, but I want the bulk of this reservoir to be completed and ready to hold water. So I think the easiest way for us to do that will be something as simple as me just putting in these stairs right here. So that way our worker beavers can wind up just going down the center path as well as this path here. Because I don't know if there's like a limit to how many beavers can stand on one block, but they will be able to reach the whole thing from here, and that will be good. I also put in a grill in this district because we have a massive potato farm, which I probably need a second farmhouse for, but future problems. And we just weren't cooking them. So we had about 50 potatoes all stored and just ready to be cooked by the time I was done doing my off-camera stuff. So I built this other distribution post because, let's just put some beavers in there, I want to make sure this district never, ever, ever, ever runs out of water. I know that was a lot of evers, but we've had so many close calls in this district, just super close to running out of water, and that's not good. But I did get a setup in this district with originally 100 dynamite. I used a little bit to make this stairway here. But that way we can kind of just dynamite whatever we need to once we are able to get things going. Like I'm going to have to delete this builder's hut, do a little pathway here, or a waterway rather, and get everything to start flooding, which is totally fine. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were ready to go, and we didn't have to wait on anything to get transported over. And I was doing some thinking as well. I think I want to leave these ruins in here, because I don't know if I have it anywhere on the map to show you guys, but if the ruins get, are in a quote-unquote green tile, so there's water somewhat nearby, all of these dead vines here turn into green stuff. Like, plants is the word I was looking for. And they all become alive, and it looks pretty cool. So I may wind up, like, maybe I'll get rid of, like, this middle section here, and I could do that, and just kind of keep these 2 towers. So I may do a little bit of like landscaping with it, but I think I want to leave this because I don't really have much need for metal stuff, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of like the the metal platforms. These right here, they don't really do it for me. And the only other real thing that I could use it for would be larger suspension bridges, but even that's not such a big deal to me because if I wanted to use bridges, I can just use a few of these, 3x1s instead of this and just not use metal, but we'll figure that out. This episode is brought to you by the letter T. I don't know what that's for, but there's a T and a period. So if your name is Thomas, hit the like button. And if it's not Thomas, also hit the like button, please. Okay, so I do have to make a decision because this isn't going to take too much longer right here. Especially once I start to get trees from over here. Because you can see this district, we only have 10 logs in total. When I started recording, I did a quick check. We had like 150, but we're just flying through that. So I think the easiest thing to do, it's kind of scary, but if I get rid of, maybe start with like these stairs here, build these all up to the appropriate level, which I should be able to do, even if it's like one at a time. And then I can also delete this little staircase here. Granted, I know I do have this set up to build the dam, but realistically, once this aqueduct is done being built, I don't really need these here. Like, I might keep a builder's hut over here just in case I feel like building something in like this space or whatever. But all of these buildings here are going to be relatively useless. And the other thing in the last episode, I did wind up finally getting this little platform, I guess, around our district center. So now there's water running all the way around this. I have water coming down from here, as well as both of these wooden platforms. So the next step with that is probably do this little pathway here, which is scary because all of the beavers that live up here, but I could just build a little staircase here and kind of circumvent most of that. And then the hard one is going to be this, if I want to do that. Which I kind of do, because I think by doing that, if I just kind of reroute it over here, I can use that to help fill up this reservoir as well. But as I have said a couple times, I want to make sure that diverting this river, 700 ways isn't going to just totally ruin the flow and make it so that way the aqueduct does not get any. Because this is priority number 1, getting this little lake filled up. Not so little. It's a crater, basically, in beaver terms. But let's do a quick check on maples. So those are doing pretty good. Do I have anyone working in this farmhouse? No. So I don't need 3 lumberjacks here. Let's go ahead and pause that one. Should get someone in here. Fantastic. And I'm going to set that to planting. I haven't explained this in a little bit, so I will go ahead and do a quick explanation, but there are 2 different actions for the farmhouse that you can prioritize. So that's either harvest or plant. Harvest will mean they're just going to collect all of the ones that have grown and just leave an open spot. And they'll get back to planting once all of the grown ones are picked. Planting does the opposite, basically. So or not the opposite, but like they still collect the full ones, but then they just immediately go and plant an open space. So like if you watch these guys for a little bit, you'll see that. So especially when I only have a couple farmhouses, this is the best way to do it. So once I complete this dam, I'm going to probably have 1 floodgate maybe here to let out water just to flow down into here. I also think that I want to get one maybe like here and then maybe another one over here as well. Not 100% sure on this side, but I definitely want to get one here, so that way as the water is coming in, if it starts to get too high, I can use this to flood, or I can also use this as a reservoir, because this is holding a pretty large amount of water. It's not going to be like a life-sustaining amount of water, but in an emergency, if I need to release water to make this work, I can definitely do that. And I will have a dam on either end to prevent it from like pulling water out of this lake or this little river here. But I think that could definitely be something that helps us. These trees here are just about done. We got mid 90s%, so by the end of tomorrow, those will be grown. And our dam is coming along really nice. We have, 5 or 6 blocks here. So 6 blocks wide in the middle, and I think it needs to go up 6 blocks as well. And then just the stuff on the end. So we're in the home stretch for sure. So I think everything else is kind of taken care of. So I'm gonna make a super quick cut. I will be back when this is almost done. Welcome back, guys. So obviously I know that this is not the dam that we're looking at. However, I realized I'm a big dummy. because the living plants, or whatever I called them earlier, on the metal, I have it right here. So this is what it looks like. So I think if I wind up playing this well in that little lake that I was looking at, I think it'll wind up looking nice. And, you know, absolute worst case, I can just put in some metal gatherers and just get rid of it super quickly. I have the population to just make that happen really quickly if I want to. So the dam is, I want to say, almost done. We're getting there. Things are coming along. But we have trees finally popping up. Oh, I didn't give them anything to cut, that's why. But we finally have trees coming in this area, which is really good, because that's going to speed things up a lot. Just having a really good access to wood right here. But yeah, by us having... I mean, this is a pretty big tree farm as well, but by us having a tree farm this big over here, that means these guys are going to be able to make their own wood and just kind of live off of that. And once I get this mega dam done, I think I'm just gonna go back to each district kind of taking care of their own wood. I may import a little bit into the capital because that's where most of the industry is at the moment, to turn like planks and gears and stuff. But especially in the drop defenders, because they're a lot further along, as I wind up making improvements in like the industrial space there. So get away from like, hey, we just make a couple planks, but you know, get into gears and paper and explosives and such down the road. I'll probably stop that because then I'll have extra stuff just being used, but I think for right now that might be the plan, and I'll have these guys just stockpile wood because I have some big plans for them that you guys are just gonna have to wait to see. But if you guys do have any ideas and you're still watching at this point, if you have any ideas for, let's keep it to this plateau region for right now, including this area, please let me know. Should I make this just endless farms? Do I put trees in here? Do I just put a whole bunch of potatoes? Because potatoes are the best form of food. I mean, not really in the game, but just in general, potatoes are my favorite of the three food group, or four if you include the berries. But potatoes are good, is what I'm getting at. Or I could just turn this into like a whole bunch of living space and an industrial zone as well. So let me know what you guys think, if you have any thoughts on it. And it's absolutely wild to me that even with 16 beavers working full-time to bring logs from here to here, and then just coming back and repeating, that we still have like 300 logs in this district. I don't know what's going on with that, but this is always full. Otherwise, like I'd build another log pile if I felt the need to. But ultimately, that's just going to give us another 180, and then we're going to get full again. But I guess there are a lot of trees that need to be cut, so screw it. We'll give our builders something to do. That is not building pathways, which looks like we're done. Cool. So I'm going to check food real quick. We're still hanging around 1,400 food. And this irrigation tower is still going strong, which is good. And let me actually... I could have checked there, but water, we have 1,200 water, so that's fine. Everything looks like it is going swimmingly. Yeah, so that one log pile, I mean, they're going to just start flying through everything, and that's just going to wind up filling up. But, like, I don't know what else to do with the logs. Like, why is this beaver right here? This little homie. Why are you sitting on your cute little tail when you could be moving logs? All right, so it's a new day. I just looked at this. We had, you know, all of our beavers come down this little platform here, drop them off, and head back. But, like, we went up to, I think we maxed it like 25, something like that, and they just got taken up pretty much immediately. So I don't think that that's the issue. In which case, we're back to square one of just not knowing what in the heck is taking all of our wood. But that's fine. I can't wait to open this industry up, by the way, and just kind of let it run, because this is the biggest industry I have ever personally built in one district in this game, and I have played this game quite a bit. So I am super, super excited for how many resources I can just stockpile and just build random crazy things, like the aqueduct that I just saw is now totally done. Ignore that gaping hole in the corner there. So that means we can start planning for us to put water in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to just talk real quick while that happens. But I think if I just do something as simple as get rid of these stairs like one at a time, we can just put some levees in. And those will build really, really quickly, obviously, because it's just 12 logs. So even with just the stockpile that I have here, they'll be able to build that, and by the time more comes over, we should be fine. And I think once I get... Or should I start from over here? That might be smart as well. I can do both at the same time. So if I get both of these going at the same time, we can have builders coming in from this way and from up here and just kind of build and meet in the middle somewhere. So we're going to destroy this builder's hut. It served us well. We don't need it anymore. And we're going to get rid of this path as well as these stairs. Oop, come on. There we go. So by doing that, we are able to go ahead and dynamite everything. So I'm going to start with just this one dynamite here. Oop, I need a platform, I guess. Where's my platform? There we are. So we're going to start with one layer of dynamite for the moment. Actually, you know what? Let's pause the game super quick, and let's just move this platform one further back in case I need to put another piece of dynamite there. So let's just put this a 2 high, because they'll still be able to get to work. That one block isn't really going to affect anything, to be honest. So we should be good. And then they'll place this dynamite. Let me set it to a higher priority. And once that's placed, I'll probably put a dam down. Because I think that's... I don't think I want a floodgate over here. I think I'd prefer a dam. Just for sake of water not being able to flow back in, and then I can have a floodgate on the end, maybe. I'll figure out specifics probably in between episodes, but I think I'll probably put a dam, honestly, like right here. I want to see how all this works before I do too much more theory crafting. So let's go ahead and destroy this platform here. So the easiest thing to do is we'll put a double floodgate right here. Yes, that's in the right spot, and that is the correct height. So we'll put a double floodgate there, one more stick of dynamite, or bunch of dynamite, I suppose. Let me just delete that just for the extra water block. I think that's the way to go, and I'll just have this set to, what will that be, 1.5 height for the water to flow in. And then I do have this dam here. So this dam, I'm going to leave it. I think it's just going to help make sure that we don't wind up getting any weird backflow into here in the drought. Should water run lower in the river than elsewhere. Or even if this winds up getting full, which, speaking that out loud, I don't really need that dam if I have the floodgate higher, but oh well, it's there. We're going to deal with it. So let's get to flooding. There we go. Look at our little aqueduct. It officially has water, and look at how much green space it's creating as well. So like I could just immediately turn all of this into farms because I don't like the word always, but I am always going to have water in here. And it's always going to be running. So let's get a dam here. Let's see how that works. That's probably not actually going to work the way I want it to, which is unfortunate. Because yeah, I gotta figure all of this out. So if that just means more dynamite, that's fine. But I almost think the way that I have this all set up, that it's not going to work great. The thing that I can do, if I set this to... So if I set this one to 2 water blocks high, we'll give that a shot once everything's good. But if I set that to 2 water blocks high, and this is to, well, 0.5, but it's at the same level right now, water is going to flow from here into here, and it's going to start to fill up. And assuming I play my cards right, that will mean that the water is always going to prioritize here. All this math is really confusing me, guys. I'm sorry. I might just have to do dams on either end and, get rid of this floodgate and turn that into a dam. But I'll work that out personally so you guys don't have to hear me struggling to do math and logic. It never really works. Whistles weren't meant for thinking. But I suppose I could even just go to do that. Water can just flow in and I can put a dam block right there. But once these dynamite blocks get placed, I'm going to test my little theory real quick and call the episode there for the day. And that theory that I was referring to is just raising this floodgate and seeing what happens. And worst case, this totally floods. It's happened before in the past. We'll be fine. We have, what do we have? Almost 10,000 food in this district. As well as 3,000 water, which it looks like we're actually running a bit lower. Actually, no, it's just the end of the dry season. So we're fine. So yeah, we have honestly way too many resources for all of this, but there we go. And let's see what happens when I raise this up a level. So that goes to 2. Are we getting any flooding? It doesn't look like it, actually. It looks like we're just getting more water coming out this way. Yep, that's a little flood, but that looks like more of like the graphical flood where it just doesn't know how to deal with the water, I guess is probably a better word than render, but it just doesn't know how to deal with the water at the moment. Oh, we're flooding. Okay. That's fine. Let's just see how we're doing over here real quick. Look at this. We finally have this basin done. We've been working on this for ever, and we're done. And that makes me really happy. That's one of my favorite part about these games is you plan and plan and plan and spend forever working on it, and eventually it gets done. And like, look at how awesome this is. This is great. Aside from this entire district literally flooding, which I should probably deal with so we don't have beavers dying. But like, that's super, super exciting. We've been working on this forever, so I appreciate all of you who have been on the journey with me. And I appreciate those of you who will continue on the next journey in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching. It is super appreciated. If you like it, drop a like. I think finishing this aqueduct deserves a like and a subscribe if you're not already, and a comment. Go ahead, do all 3 of those things for me. Otherwise, I hope all of you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are at, and as always, remember to do something kind.